Hey, everybody, and happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, May the 2nd. And if you didn't know it, today's my 49th birthday. I love it because number one, I'm a birthday person, and I know that you're either one or the other camp. Either you love birthdays or you're hating them and they're cringy and you just wish they wouldn't happen every year. I'm in that camp of probably a smaller portion of people who are like, I love birthdays. I am a birthday person. Are you a birthday person? If you're a birthday person, drop it in the chat. Let me know you're like, heck yes, I'm a birthday person all day long. And I know there's a lot of reasons. Like, my sister's not a birthday person. She's not a Christmas person. Like, any big holidays, anytime that there's a lot of stuff happening, that is not her thing. I love it. That's kind of my thing. I don't know if it's a personality thing, but I think there's also a lot of experience things that go into that for a lot of folks that, birthdays aren't always a thing, but they're my jam. So I'm so excited that you're here with me today celebrating because if you read the post that I put out yesterday, I never expected to make it this far. I never expected, I could envision myself being 49 years old. Honestly, because from the age of 6, so much of my life was trying to escape and not exist because the world was overwhelming. And I didn't know that I was ADHD and autistic, and my sensory system and my nervous system dysregulation was this thing that I experienced. But today I'm celebrating because not only is it my birthday today, but we're almost hitting year 4 of living burnout, shutdown, and meltdown free for the first time in 40 years. So I've got some gifts and some giveaways. And my guest today, Jason Lebowitz from XXO Connect. He is the king of community and connection. And we are talking all about community, connection, what that means to us, what that means for us, you and me and Jason and the person next to you. What does that mean for us as humanity? He's got some interesting little tidbits that came out from the Surgeon General today as well. So stick around as we start kicking off this amazing episode where we've got gifts, we got giveaways, and we've got the king of community connection.
Hi, I'm Carol Jean, late identified autistic ADHD human, and your host of the Mind Your Autistic Brain talk show and Burnout Restoration Unveilers community. You're about to experience the new way to thrive as a neurodistinct brain and body by getting off the chronic cycle burnout loop for good. By unveiling your authentic self, defining what thriving feels like for you, knowing your burnout signpost, so those top 20 burnout warning signs are a thing of the past, and stepping into your best life as the creator and leader you are meant to be. Get ready, because this is where we go against the mainstream, say no to outdated self-care tips, and we say yes to who we are in order to create an energized, authentic, peaceful, and harmonized world. Welcome to Mind Your Autistic Brain.
Hey, Jason, welcome to the show. Oh my gosh, if I could spend my birthday with anybody, I love that I get to spend it with you, my friend.
Ooh, happy birthday. That's just so exciting.
I know, I love it. I even have like my sparkly glitter cup. Like, I am so ready for the party. I am in, y'all. I love a bargain. Oh my gosh, I am like the bargain queen. My Aunt Elaine taught me how to like bargain super shop, right? Like, you see those people like super coupon shoppers. That is not me, but when it comes to clothes and accessories, I am the super shopper. I got this beautiful birthday dress that I'm wearing today. I got this at, I think it was either Marshall's or TJ Maxx. It is a Donna Karen. It's regularly $129. I got this bad boy for $7. It was the last one, and it was in my size. It was meant for my birthday.
That's a deal. Damn.
I'm telling you, and I find stuff like this all the time. My mom always will tell me, she's like, you totally have that. You got your Aunt Elaine's gift for like finding the deal. So when she needs something, or any of my friends or anybody are like, Carol Jean, I'm looking for this. I'm like, oh, okay. And I will go find like the deal of the century and send them the thing. And they're like, oh my gosh. So see, that's something you guys did not know about me. I am like the super bargain shopper.
going shopping with you. Well, actually, we're just talking about the shopping for the mic. So I did good on mic, but not clothes.
Oh my gosh, you totally did because your mic is like, ooh, I am like,
Thing's
I
fancy.
got to get that sound.
I got big mic energy today. Get ready for your birthday. Bringing
Oh,
it
I
on to
love
you.
it.
Let's do it.
So, Jason, you always ask a question and I love this. So I'm going to ask it. I'm going to ask it to you and you can ask my question to me because you know what mine is. Jason, how's your energy today?
Ooh, it's I'm pretty charged. It's charged right now. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, you have a variation of it.
I do. I always ask, how's your heart?
Yeah. Yeah. How was your heart today?
I'll be honest, my heart's a little like it's so excited because it's my birthday today and I love my birthday and I got all dolled up and I've been like, I even have on my gold glitter sparkle shoes. Like, you guys, these are like the fanciest shoes. And for a woman who's 5'10" and wears a size 11 shoe, it is super hard to find like really sparkly, cute shoes. But I found some on Amazon at a deep discount. And I have on my sparkly glitter shoes today. But right before this, I had an emergency visit to the vet with, you guys know, my sweet doggy Easter Lily, my flat coat retriever. Well, she turned 11 this year and she had a little thing pop up on her lip about 2 weeks ago and it got really huge really fast. Like, we thought maybe she got stung. But that hasn't turned out to be the case. She didn't respond to antibiotics. So Josh and I had to leave her at the vet today and she's going to have surgery in the morning. So my heart's a little sad and heavy because of that, because I'm worried about my baby girl, but I'm also just excited because I
Mhm.
get to spend time with you guys. I get to spend time with Jason. And, I think that's just part of the beautiful thing about community and connection. I think, Jason, you always model this so beautifully and you talk about it a lot. And it's, where are we showing up as our authentic selves? And we talk about that a ton in the autistic community. It's like, am I really saying what's on my mind and my heart? And that's why I love the question, how's your heart? Because so
Mhm.
often, we get that rote response of, I'm fine, because you just don't know if that's the person you need to like really divulge or dig in with, right? Or who's willing to receive what you got going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, we hide behind it. It's almost like it's a muscle memory. It's just a reflex of, how are you? Good. How are you? Good. It's just going through emotion as opposed to going through the emotion, right? There's a difference. And a lot of times either we don't want people to know where we are, or we don't want to lay it on them. And a lot of times we know when they ask, they're not ready even to receive it. So we're holding back and we're just going through emotion, and that's really isolating and lonely. And I love, in community is where you have true connection, where you could ask the question instead of how are you, how's your energy today, how's your heart today, because when you say that, you're opening the space, you're providing the space for whatever comes out, and you're there for it. It's a big difference.
Oh my gosh, it really is. And it's one of those things that I don't think we realize until we start experiencing what it is to have somebody ask you, how's your energy today? Because when you think about that, you don't automatically go fine. You're like, huh. You immediately start gauging. Am I energetic? Am I kind of slow and low today? Am I kind of even keeled? Am I balanced, right?
Yeah, yeah. You're breaking the algorithm, right? Because it's an algorithm. How are you? Good. How are you? Good. We're breaking that. We're creating a behavior modification. We're actually digging in, getting intimate is what it is. I know everybody thinks of intimacy as one thing, but to me, this is intimacy. This is which leads to connection.
We are, as they say, disrupting the status quo. And, we
Oh yeah.
talked about that with Kira Passion Break last week. We were talking about like status quo, like when it comes to risk. And I think that's such a beautiful place to kind of layer in here, because when we're talking about community and we're talking about showing up, being able to be vulnerable and brave and courageous and being our authentic selves, we're also talking about we're assessing our risk.
Hmm.
Always, right? What does that mean for you, Jason? What does that mean in community and connection?
It means being a human being. I know that sounds funny. It even sounds funny to say, but we struggle to be a human being.
I mean, I think like we even have to go back a little further maybe and just say, how do you define being human?
Yeah, yeah. It's it's going inwards instead of outwards. It's actually not being afraid to share feelings, emotions, um, being able to accept responsibility, to know, understand when you're wrong. I mean, I go on for probably an hour and a half of just, words. But I call it the whole human connection experience. It's how we connect on what I call 7 dimensions of wellness or connection with us, with ourselves and each other. And that's mental, emotional, social, spiritual, financial, physical, and even sexual. Those are all the levels of wellness or connection we have with each other. And anybody who has possibly a break in one of those, many of us are living fragments of the whole human connection experience, but not fully all of it. And I think when you fully you're living all of it, you fully accepted yourself. You have a healthy relationship with yourself. And I was talking to somebody earlier today. We had an unbelievable conversation about, when I say having a healthy relationship with yourself, it doesn't mean, you're a perfect human and nothing goes wrong. It means a lot of things can go wrong and you fuck things up and that, but there's an awareness and accountability, a responsibility. You accept it, you work on it, you acknowledge it, right? As opposed to just avoid it and form a distraction from it and ignore it and place the blame elsewhere. So that's you have to wind me up again, but
Oh man, you couldn't have touched on my heart any deeper just then.
Mm,
Because, when you were talking about those different layers, those different levels of human connection, in my world, in the work that I do in burnout restoration strategy, is we look at what are our basic human needs. And what you just named, those are our basic human needs. There's 30 of those suckers, by the way.
mm,
And you moved through and brought us to one of the sections of human needs. In those 30 human needs are our self-actualization. you
mm,
know, as we become aware, as we start going through that process. And this is sort of part of that foundational process and transformation when I talk about where we are in burnout, especially as late identified autistic ADHDers. We have experienced a lot of things. We've masked to the professional level of camouflaging. We've suppressed. We've had that rote response of, "How are you doing?" "Oh, I'm fine. I'm all good." And Lauren Lefkowitz, that's one of her things that she talks about. She's like, "You're not fine." I mean, I'm fine is the thing that's killing us. Like that
mm,
statement, "I'm fine," because it lacks connection. It leads to that, like you mentioned, that isolation, that feeling like nobody gets you. And, as a late identified autistic person, I felt like nobody got me. I was always the odd person, weird one, that I never felt like anybody really understood my perspective, my high speed brain. I would see like all of these solutions and all this stuff, and I would start sharing it. People would look at me like I just sprung a third eye. And I'm just like, okay. But then I found my tribe, I found my folks,
yeah.
especially over in XXO. I mean, what what made you, or like what was your personal experience, Jason, that led to the creation of this glorious platform of human connection called XXO Connect?
There's a few levels to that, is or layers. Is that one was I was in many unhealthy relationships. There was an awareness to it, but at some point there became an accountability to it, and that led me into kind of a world into wellness, personal growth, transformation, healthy relationship to self, connection to self. But at the same time, also seeing where the world was in terms of looking at the dating industry or dating in general. Which, let's back up, just relationships, but the ways in which we were meeting people and all these ways of trying to, for connection, is actually causing further isolation and loneliness and disconnection and a lack of intimacy and a lack of connection. And so that kind of got the wheels turning onto the concept early on of XXO, which some people don't know. When we first started, it was an offline matchmaking service, launched January of 2020 in Connecticut, where people could meet in person, with a focus on, I would meet the clients first and get to know them, and there was a heavy component to personal growth in that. But 2 months later, the world shuts down where people can't meet in person. And that was one of those, oh fuck, what are we gonna do now? Right? And which was actually becoming a beautiful moment, because as time went on, I realized people who are in relationships struggle with prioritizing their own well-being, personal growth, their relationship with themselves. They lose themselves. They struggle with intimacy. It wasn't just for those who are single. And I realized, and so the platform is not going to be just a dating site. And it's gone through quite a few upgrades throughout the past couple of years to where it is now.
You know what? I think that's the beautiful thing, that even just the evolution
Yeah.
of XXO itself speaks to the evolution of community, the evolution of, and you go back to this, and I think there's 2 points that stood out to me that I think make such a huge difference, because no one chooses personal growth lightly. It's usually from a place of pain and suffering. It's not like everything's going well, so I'm gonna choose personal growth. It's like, I'm struggling, I'm suffering, I'm not living the life that I imagine or want for myself, so I'm gonna seek answers. And I think it's this compassionate curiosity about ourselves, because we can approach personal growth from a standpoint of, I'm trying to figure out all the stuff I'm doing wrong, and I'm gonna beat myself up and shame myself and talk mean and ugly to myself because I hadn't done it right. And
Mm.
then there's this other side of this, it's the shedding. You know, I almost say it's kind of like the snake shedding its skin. You shed
Yeah.
your skin and you've got this delicate, you know, it's like shells on a crab. So crabs molt, and crabs lose their shells, they outgrow them, and they're soft shells. And I used to pick them up growing up along the Mobile Bay. And it's my favorite thing. My grandmother would love it. We would be there like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd knock on my grandmother's back door and I'd be like, Nibble, we got crabs. She's like, come on in. And, you know, we'd be cleaning crabs, you know, 3, 5, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I just loved her. She'd get up and do it. She never said a word. And she would fry them. And that's what we'd have for breakfast. We'd
Uh,
have fried soft shell crabs and grits. But often, you know, we don't recognize that when we're willing to let go and shed that tough skin exterior that's kind of holding us in, it's keeping us stuck and
yeah.
trapped, and it's tight and it's uncomfortable. And when we allow it to shed, we made that choice. And I say we can be the CEOs, we can be the chief everything officers, or we can be the chief empowerment officers in our life. And I think when we can start to identify that when I'm shedding, I'm also tender, I'm also vulnerable, I'm choosing to do this. And I'm also looking at, what is my relationship with myself and what is my accountability?
Mm.
And, you know, Janelle Johnson, who's the winner of our Shine a Light Service to Others award this year, for her service to others, and she's just amazing. You know, she asked me a question over the summer last year, and she said, Carol Jean, who's holding you accountable? And I thought, oh, I don't in this area of my life. And I think XXO as a community, with all of the different rooms, the focus is on your relationship with yourself, because when you have an alignment and you've dug in and you're allowed to be vulnerable and you're allowed to explore that relationship with yourself, maybe for the first time. I didn't do it till I was in my 40s. This is all like all new to me.
Mm.
But that allowed for me to also have accountability with myself and in community with others. And I think XXO does this so beautifully. I have accountability partners, not like, we're keeping an eye on you or you doing all the things you need to do, but like, you got a place to show up and go, well, I just really screwed that up. 6 ways to Sunday. And have the compassion and the support. What do you think, like, what's coming up for you on that? And I definitely want you to share that article today that came out as well.
Yeah, it's a different energy when you're in community. So yes, there's an accountability more to others and to yourself. And to me, I mean, there's enough information and content and videos and courses and classes out in the world. We don't lack that, but those have a lack of connection. They feel more isolated and lonely. There can be a place for them, but when you can do this in community, in something that we've actually created in XXO, you accelerate the process. You accelerate your own growth. You accelerate human connection because there's a different energy. You're doing it. You're applying the principle to the application. So many people can consume and consume, but they never see any change or transformation because they're not actually using what they have or these tools. It's like, if you look at in relationships where I'm a full proponent like of healing before you keep jumping into relationship, you're going to keep doing the same thing again. However, that being said, you're never like fully healed and then you go into a relationship. You work on yourself, but when you go into the relationship, it's going to show you how far you've come and what you need to work on. It's a healing in motion. It's always going. And that's the beauty of it is being in real community. There's a different energy to it.
There is, and we are so like tagging this quote right here, healing in motion.
Yeah.
Healing in motion. Because think about that. And I think just like I'm a visual thinker. So of course I got like the visual stuff popping over here. Jason, you know
Write
me,
that down.
right?
I'll forget it. Write that one down.
But like the healing in motion, honestly, think about that. If something's stagnated, if it's not in motion, nothing's changing. I mean, it is, even if you think you're stuck, there's still stuff that's happening. But when you're in motion, think about the things like, think about water, how it flows. And you're always meeting a new area. You're being challenged. You're being gifted with what you need in your life. So I think healing in motion, man, Jason, wow. Oh, that's so good, my friend. That is so good. What did the Surgeon General say today in that article that came out?
I didn't get a chance to fully read the article yet because I've had such a wild day. But the Surgeon General today announced, Surgeon General lays out framework to tackle loneliness, and it goes on. It's all about connection, about social connection, and what we can do because we're in a state of disconnection and loneliness and isolation. And it's like all these things, like in 2019 when XXO Connect first started, it's saying the same thing. I have videos of me, like it's almost like they quoted, and it's not like it originated from me, but
They
it just
quoted
shows you.
Jason
They
Lebowitz.
quoted it, yes.
They should. You're a smart man.
But it's funny though that here we are, 2019 to now 2023, and it's just like, well, do you think we should go here? We're losing human connection. I talk about restoring connection to humanity, but also saving intimacy from becoming extinct. And at the rate that we're going, intimacy will become extinct. And again, I'm not talking intimacy in terms of romantic relationships, but relationships. How, having just a conversation with each other. Some people have a struggle to even meet in person. It's wild that we're losing connection so fast today. And so XXO really is taking the technology of today to go back to human connection of yesterday. We're 100% live human connection platform, and that's the difference. It sounds so weird and simple, like how what we do inside, but it's a different energy inside. It's actual connection and community.
It really truly is. It's an experience like no other in my book. And that's one of the things that I look at for burnout restoration, and some of the statistics are those of suicide and suicidal ideation. And when you also talk about intersectional populations, if you have other minority things where you are not the majority in this experience, or the majority of the people don't seem to understand or get or even recognize that you have this different experience or different perspective on something, it feels very isolating. And in neurodistinct burnout that I talk about, suicidal ideation, the thinking of like, I need the parachute cord, I need to escape. That's something we talk about a lot, but with a different perspective, a different feel, a different energy, a different lens. And that is like, I don't necessarily want to take action, but I just need everything to stop. There's so much overwhelm. I'm exhausted. I just need to hit pause. I need the big easy button, right? And for so many of us, and I know for myself, decades of that chronic cycle burnout loop for 4 decades, left me in this state of feeling really isolated and alone and not being able to share that I had those thoughts or those feelings and how I was having them. Like I don't actually want to do something. Well, there were times that I really did because I felt so alone. It hurt so bad. And what I love about XXO Connect is that we have this approach in all of our rooms and across the whole platform. We're here because of our human connection. And I think this is something that comes up. So, like, the pandemic has been a blessing as well as a struggle for so many of us. And for those of
Yeah.
us who are neurodistinct or those of us who are real big introverts, and it's like, I don't really want to people in person, but people were telling you, oh, you have to go do this or this. Or when it came to work, oh, well, we can't let you work from home. We don't have the capability for that. Well, you know what? All of a sudden, real quick, people who told you no, all of a sudden everybody's working from home and we figured it out in about 2 hot minutes, right? All based on your need. Like, what are you really interested in? But I think what we've learned a lot of is that, and I think some of the original people were like, how are we going to have live human connection when nobody's in person? And I think that that was one of the things that came up. But I'm like, oh, you don't really understand. I don't think you've ever experienced people all getting in a virtual room together and heart to heart. You can feel the energy, like in
Yeah.
breath work rooms when we do, Jen's Friday night, sound healing and things like that. I mean, that is an experience. Like, we go to Claudia's room for some self-healing. People come into my room on Thursday afternoons and we've had some really great conversations. We're talking about what are the things where people aren't understanding our communication style, and how do we start to bring that together? And people are showing up courageously.
Yes. Yeah. We create live experiences for our members in all different ways. We cover, breath work, which, I mean, I could go on with a list of what that does, but it's not only, it's connection to yourself and others. There's mindset rooms, self-care rooms, meditation rooms, parenting rooms, divorce, life after divorce rooms, sex, love, dating, relationship coaches, and relationship rooms. I mean, it just goes on, but it all connects. It all connects. Each room connects to the next.
Yeah, it does. I mean, even financial relationships.
Yes, and
I mean,
healing the relationship with money. Absolutely, yes, because that tremendous energy of healing the relationship with money as well. Financial wellness is a part of it.
and like, especially, I think, Jason, and this is something you and I have really talked about, we have these seasons in our life of transition. And, be that I'm transitioning from high school to college. That's a
Mm,
big transition point. Because then you're going out and being on your own, right? And then that transition from college or vocational or whatever you're doing, even if it's high school to the workplace, that next step, that transition from, where you were in an education setting to the workplace, that's a big transition point. And so often you can feel like, how do I navigate this territory? Holy cow. And you've got some great suggestions. You've got some amazing things. And this, I think, is a fantastic college
Gen
graduation
Z,
gift.
Gen Z, ask your parents for a graduation gift, and if you are the parents of any Gen Zs that are about to graduate, get them an XXO Connect membership. Yeah, it's when we talk about where we're talking, I think offline recently, maybe it was earlier, about Gen Z and where they are today, and they're struggling with connection. They're struggling with communication. They're struggling with conversations. And I could go on again with the list. And XXO is the transition for them. It's a way to work on, first, to prioritize their own mental health, wellness, personal growth, a chance to connect with others. It's almost like a training ground for connection and conversation in certain ways. And it's a way for them to meet others and to network and explore all different avenues inside our platform. It's
And
unlike anything
we
else out there.
are it isn't, and we are a neuro inclusive platform.
We sure
We
are.
have we we have me,
Mm.
we have so many other folks, and we have a beautiful neurodiverse and neuroinclusive approach at XXO. So that no matter where you are, no matter what your transition is, that is a big place to get support. And, one of the things that I think is really important to talk about too is one of the statistics that came out this year around Gen Z was that those who have been in the workforce, who have like trickled in over the last couple of years, this past year, they noted that I think it was either between 18 and 23% higher report of burnout in the Gen Z group than in any other generation. And I think that says a lot for those feelings of isolation, not feeling like you really have a place or that you don't know what your needs are and you hadn't identified them yet. And so you're just like saying, I'm fine,
Mm,
right?
fine, I'm fine. Yeah.
And I love because one of the things that we're working on as the XXO team is we are going through and looking at where are places that we can give back because that's something that's really important to us. Jason, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Cause. So when we look at XXO Connect and we fight to restore connection and humanity, save intimacy from becoming extinct. But when we look deeper at a cause, we haven't had a cause that we contribute to yet. And we're looking into what cause that's going to be, where every percentage or dollars of membership goes towards this cause that aligns with XXO Connect and what we stand for. And that's something that's kind of behind the scenes, but in motion right now of what who's that going to be?
I love that. So today, Jason has a wonderful graduation gift offer and an offer for all of our Mind Your Autistic Brain community members and our audience today. And Jason is offering 15% off of an XXO membership now through May the 15th. You can go to the link in the show notes, and the code is MYABXXO. And it's right here on the screen if you're watching. And if you're not watching and you're driving, please don't try to watch. That's in the show notes. So you can click on that because, that's part of when you join XXO, you're not just joining a community, you're not just finding your relationship with yourself and others and finding accountability, you're also spreading the message of live human connection and how we as a team and XXO as a company is looking to do something bigger in the world and make a even bigger impact in how we give back. And I just love that so
Yeah,
much.
yeah, it feels good. It feels right.
Oh my gosh. It really does. It really does. So, guys, I've got a birthday present. So, for Mind Your Autistic Brain, the first steps to burnout restoration toolkit right now, today through May the 7th, you can get $100 off. So if you missed the Shine a Light campaign code and you didn't get to dive in and get that $100 off in April, you got a little extra time because of my birthday. Because I always feel like, I celebrate the fact I got this hair tickling me. Sorry. Um, I love to celebrate my birthday by giving gifts to other people because to me, it's thank you for being in my life. Thank you for making the life that I have filled with such joy and blessings and relationship. So, my gift to all of you in the audience is $100 off the first steps to burnout restoration toolkit. And the code is birthday 49 because I'm 49 today. So the code is up on the screen. The link's down in the show notes. So again, if you're driving, don't try clicking on anything. Wait till you get home and you can sit down and pull it up. So now through May the 7th. So Jason and I would love for you able to get those. So hey, I've got some live giveaways for those out in the audience. So you gotta drop a comment so I can pull it up here in the software. I have two, not one, I have two free access passes to the First Steps to Burnout Restoration Toolkit. So if you would like to get that, drop a me with an exclamation point in the comment box right now. And as soon as I see those come up, you will be the winners. I will let you know who those are at the end of the show here in a minute. And you have to email me at info@mindyourautisticbrain.com to claim your free access pass code. So guys, be sure and drop a me with an exclamation point if you are here live with us today. Oh my goodness. So we have Kylie Reeves. Hey, 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 Kylie. Kylie Reeves, you are the winner of the first access pass to First Steps to Burnout Restoration. Congratulations, Kylie. Okay, here we go. We got our second one. Tori McDowell. Hey, Tori's in the house. Tori, you are the winner of the second free access pass to the First Steps to Burnout Restoration Toolkit. So congratulations to Kylie and Tori. Both of you guys, be sure that you hop on over into the email, and in the show notes, it's got my email address, info@mindyourautisticbrain.com. Send me an email and I will send you that free access pass. Happy birthday to me, and happy birthday for celebrating with me today. I just love being able to share all the amazing things that are happening in my life and be able to encourage everybody so that we all have a chance to get out of burnout, to live our best life and thrive, to find community and connection. And hey, you got the dynamic duo right here. You got the burnout restoration queen right here, and you got the king of community connection on the other side. We really do need the accessory crowns.
We might have to do that. I see a future photo shoot. We'll get together for that.
Oh my gosh, we
Yeah.
so have to do that. Aha, Tori said me. Yes, yes, yes. Tori, you have won, my friend. So you got that access pass. Make sure you get it. Kylie, make sure you guys also send me an email. Jason, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for being a part of creating community and connection in a way that is so powerful and so much stinking fun every
Yes.
week.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your birthday with me today. And I like this. Let's do this again next year. The big 5
Oh
0.
my. Okay, it's a date. We're totally on. We are totally on.
In fact, how about let's this is recorded, right? We have this on file. Next year, we'll do it and we'll get dressed up. We'll do our photo shoot in person for this. There you
Oh,
go. Done. It's
yes.
done.
We are totally doing it. And you know what's really fun is I actually have a couple of tiaras and I have some crowns. I even made one. Here's the funny thing. Used to wear, I hate housework. It is just not my thing, vacuuming, doing all that kind of stuff. And so I decided I was going to make it fun. So I got this really huge, glitzy, gaudy tiara, and was wearing it, jamming with some fun music while I was doing housework. So anybody out there, if you are just feeling like this is not the thing I want to do, I am telling you, you put a little sparkle on your head and you put some tunes, jamming, it will transform whatever task you have to do that is not your favorite. However, I would not need to transform anything if I put a crown on to be with you, my friend.
That's it. It's on.
See, you never know where my crazy will take us.
No, I don't, but I'm here for it. I told you, I'm always here for it with you.
I love that so much. Oh my gosh, Jason. That's, you're one of my ride or die. You totally are one of my ride or die. I know that darn whatever it is, you're up for the ride, you're down for the fun, and I'm always there with you, my
I
friend.
appreciate
Guys,
it.
thank you so much for joining me today. Thanks for helping me celebrate my birthday. Congratulations to Tori and Kylie, our winners. And hey, be sure you go check out XXO Connect. Use that 15% off because you're not just doing something that's helping you. You're also going to be doing something that's going to be helping somebody next to you each and every day. We are a beautiful, wonderfully wired group of folks, and we are all about relationship. We love you. We care about you. You matter to us, and we're here in community and connection. Always. Thanks so much for joining us. I'll see you next week on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Bye, guys.
Thank you.